Anita Sarkeesian has come forward with a personal statement regarding calling Sargon of Akkad a garbage human on her panel on Thursday. To kick off the Woman Online panel at VidCon last Thursday, the moderator posed the question, why do we still have to talk about the harassment of women? I replied, because I think one of my biggest harassers is sitting in the front row. He showed up with several others. Together, his group took up the two front rows at the panel. Their presence was plainly not, as one of them later said in an apology video he posted to Twitter, to give us a chance that we never gave them and to hear us out, but was instead to intimidate me and put me on edge. They will no doubt plead innocent and act shocked at what they characterize as the outrageousness of such allegations. This too is part of their strategy, gaslighting, acting in a way intended to encourage me and the other targets, to doubt ourselves and to wonder if all of this isn't just in our heads. Well, it is in your heads. If you obsess over oppression, you will see it everywhere. But to anyone who examines their patterns of behavior with clear eyes, the intentions of their actions are undeniably apparent. Carl is a man who literally profits from harassing me and other women. He makes over $5,000 a month on Patreon for creating YouTube videos that mock, insult, and discredit myself and other women online, and he's not alone. He is one of several YouTubers who profit from the cottage industry of online harassment and anti-feminism. Together, these people have millions of followers who are regularly encouraged by the videos and tweets of these individuals to harass me and other women who make videos daring to assert their basic humanity of women, people of color, trans folks, and members of their marginalized groups. Well, you can't be free from criticism, Anita. Criticism isn't harassment. Because of the constant flood of threats and harassment I have received over the past 5 years simply for being a woman who argues for the basic humanity of women in a deeply misogynistic culture, I went for a very long time rarely participating in public conversations. Yeah, blame that on all the people online too. You know something? I get a lot of fucking hate too. It comes with the job. Being a target of cybermob harassment is a traumatizing experience, though harassers seek to deny this. It's not traumatic, Anita, for fuck's sake. One tactic of theirs is to dismiss the very idea, to say that everyone online is treated the same. Everyone online gets called names sometimes. Yes, they do. You should hear some of the shit that... Hey, hell, I share it on my Twitter all the time. In fact, there is simply no comparison between being occasionally mocked or insulted online as a male anti-feminist who occupies a position of power in an overwhelmingly sexist patriarchal culture and being a woman who receives a never-ending torrent of abuse while fighting tooth and nail to create an online culture that is a little less misogynistic and a little more equitable. Okay. Women perhaps get more shit than men, right? We deal with different issues, men and women. It's just, it comes with the sex you're assigned at birth, right? The sex that the doctor decides that you are, right? As some people in this community would say. But let's go ahead and move on, because this is just so much mental gymnastics, it hurts my brain. Because if me, I apparently occupy a position of power in an overwhelmingly sexist patriarchal culture. No, I don't! No, I don't. I work some fucking shit entry-level job, and you think the women I work with make more money than I do? No! They make minimum wage, too! I better tell my boss about this. Hey, do you know you can just hire exclusively all women and save on labor costs, right? I'm deviating too much from the letter. Let's go ahead and move on. But Anita is a fucking idiot. However, despite the torrent of harassment, I recently made a conscious decision to participate more regularly in panels and conversations at public events because I wanted to engage with people who show up in good faith to listen to our ideas. But let me make something very clear. When you have a history of harassing someone for years and you show up in the front row at the panel with a camera and an entourage, it's not an act of good faith, to put it mildly. There's probably a level of truth in that. Maybe not a lot of truth, but there's probably a smidgen of truth that she's stretching out in order to make her point. That is in itself an act of harassment and intimidation. He and his companions were doing this not just to me, but to other women as well, women like Kat Black and Francesca Ramsey, so that we were all aware at VidCon that this man who has harassed us and whose hundreds and thousands of followers have attacked us online for years is here watching us. It's a deliberate act to create an environment that feels hostile, to communicate to us that if and when we dare show up in public to express our opinions that we express online, the harassment will follow us into the physical world as well. It's almost like being a Trump voter, am I right? Now, he and his followers are acting to see if me publicly calling him a garbage human is the equivalent to what he has done to me. He's never gone out in public and called you out while he was on a panel and you were in the audience. That is incredibly unprofessional, Anita, and unethical, what you did. However, making videos criticizing things on the internet is not only legal, it's art. In truth, he and his followers cannot begin to imagine what it is to have to constantly beg for and fight for your basic humanity in a culture that fundamentally refuses to acknowledge it. Anita, you don't have to fight for shit. This country is over 250 fucking years old. The people who have died in the name of the American flag, those are the people who had to fight tooth and nail so you had your basic humanity in a culture that fundamentally refuses to acknowledge it. No one's taking your humanity away from you, Anita. You've made up this shit so you can make a career off of being a victim. That's where the term professional victim comes from. It's practically in description of you, specifically. Fuck. Anyway, let's go on. It's almost over. He cannot imagine what it is to spend years and years being the target of floods of harassment and hate, and then to still go out there and keep fighting. The companion of his who made that apology video I referenced earlier also tweeted that women are powerful enough to deal with things like workplace harassment to rape. Okay, rape sucks, right? But I believe women are just as capable to defend themselves as men. Maybe not as physically capable, but as a human being, you are equal in the eyes of the law, and you have no reason to say that, oh, I'm victimized. What is that, the soft bigotry of low expectations? Women can defend themselves. Women can excel if they push themselves. This is mind-blowing. That she's like, no, us women, we're not good enough. Yes, you are. You're just as good as anyone else. You're not any better, but you're not any worse either. Well, at least on the basis of just being alive. As far as quality of human being, yeah, she is clearly worse. Alright, moving on, because there's only a little bit left. As if power in and accepting a culture in which women are second-class citizens. In what? Iran or Saudi Arabia? In America, women are second-class citizens. That pisses me off, man. In which misogyny and workplace harassment and rape are the norm. No, they're not! They're illegal! You can literally ruin someone's life accusing them of rape. You can literally ruin someone's life accusing you of workplace harassment. Fuck you, Anita. Fuck that. I'll never settle for that. You're damn right I'm powerful. No, you're not. You're so fucking weak, Anita, that this is your reaction when somebody shows up to a panel of yours. You fucking pathetic human being. After everything I've been put through by Carl and other men like him, I'm still powerful enough to go out there and try to change it. Powerful enough to attend a fucking panel. Yeah. Great job, Anita. Such bravery. Much feminism. Anita, if you really want to be a second-class citizen, because you are not a second-class citizen in America, you're just not. There is no rape culture. The gender pay gap is a myth. All of this is a bunch of bullshit talking points you and your little cabal of feminists have come up with. None of it's true, okay? So you're not a second-class citizen. But if you want a taste of what it is to be a second-class citizen, perhaps you could go to Saudi Arabia and not wear a fucking hijab. How about talking back to a man there? How about showing how powerful you are and telling men over in the Middle East that they should respect women? You will get acid thrown on your face and then probably raped. They have rape culture over there. I would say they'd have a gender gap, but I'm not even sure if women can work. They sure as fuck aren't allowed to drive. But we have the second-class citizens? Anita, seriously, I have had sympathy for you, in certain aspects. Be like, as a human being, I feel bad for someone who has to deal with this much flack. I mean, she's the evil villain of gamers. People just hate her. But you deserve it. For all this nonsense you just... First of all, for calling out someone at a panel and shaming them like that. If the roles were switched, you'd be playing that little victim card all the way to the bank. So that was wrong. But now, claiming you live as a second-class citizen, all of my sympathy and understanding and my want to understand everything that you believe in and maybe come to a middle ground where, okay, you're not so bad. There is a level of truth to what you're saying. I have lost all of that after all of this. women are second-class citizens. I keep looking at that. No, they're not. Women are incredibly looked up to. Men want to protect women. Not because they're weak, but because they want to feel valuable. And I'm sure it goes both ways. But I don't want to ramble on forever, but this got under my fucking skin, and I needed to share it with you guys. I apologize for the lack of editing. There's a few parts where I kind of flubbed up and I didn't want to re-record. Mostly because I just didn't want to, if I'm being honest. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you all later.